Hello, it's Miss Brown again, and today we're starting to learn about a new kingdom called fungi, the kingdom fungi. Remember, again, you can always stop this video and write things in if it goes along a little too fast for you. So at the top of your organizer, I want you to write that they are extracellular digesters. That means it happens outside the body of the organism. So they digest outside their body and absorb the food in. So why was this fungi kingdom created? Because originally the fungi, things that you're familiar with like toadstools and mushrooms, were actually thought to be plants, but they're not. They're different from plants because they cannot make their own food. They cannot make their own food. So that's why they were created. And why are they unable to make their own food? Because they do not contain any chlorophyll. They do not contain chlorophyll. Okay, they're heterotrophs. So number 3, these heterotrophic fungi that feed on other organisms are called consumers. And those that break down dead and decaying matter are called decomposers. Now the body of a fungus is actually not the mushroom. That's what you all often think of when you hear fungus. But the body is actually this thread-like hyphae. And it secretes enzymes, digests, and absorbs the food. So the hyphae releases these digestive enzymes that we have in our stomachs, but it releases them outside the body. The enzymes digest that food extracellularly, and then the hyphae absorb the nutrients in. And I'm about to take you on a little gross journey here. One of the familiar fungi, or a fungus that you know about, is athlete's foot. And if you've ever had that, you know it gets very red and very itchy. Well, what's happening there is the fungus is actually digesting the covering of your skin and soaking it up. And that's what makes it red and raw there, because it's digested. And if it gets bad enough, it can actually make cracks in your skin if you don't take care of it, which we may get time to talk about a little later. All right, number 5, fungi are eukaryotic. Of course, means they don't have a nucleus. Number 6, they have walls that are made of chitin, which is actually a sugar. It's also found in exoskeletons. 7, most fungi are many-celled or multicellular, while yeasts are unicellular, and they prefer a moist habitat. That's why if you have athlete's foot, wet socks, wet shoes, sweaty socks, need to be changed as quickly as you can, because they love that moisture. So the drier you can keep it, the better off you're going to be with any sort of athlete's foot or any kind of fungus infection you might get. Okay, they reproduce asexually by budding, or they form spores on a sporangium. Now, sexual reproduction, number 10, comes from spores and, of course, by the process of meiosis. Now, helpful, they are decomposers. They break things down. You're going to see some of that about the forest in a video we're going to watch. They're a food source. They're an antibiotic source. And brewing and baking, bread would not be the same without these yeasts. Harmful, they can destroy crops. They can spoil food. They're parasites, things like athlete's foot, and they can cause some diseases. Now, here I want you to list 5 of these that might be familiar to you, of these fungi you see listed here. Pick 5. And one of them that surprises kids is ringworm is not a worm. It is a fungus that grows in a circle, and you can treat it about the same way you treat athlete's foot. You can use the same cream on it usually that you would buy at the store. Now, number 13, mycorrhizae. These are fungi that live in what we call a symbiotic relationship with the roots of plants. Almost all plants have some mycorrhizae fungi living in their roots. And what these fungi do, they absorb the nutrients in water. They help the plant. They're really thread-like. They look a lot like roots. So they absorb the water and nutrients from the soil. Then they get food and certain other nutrients from the plants. So they work together. So the fungus is helping to gather in the materials, and then it feeds off of the plant. And another relationship we have is lichens, and you notice these on trees. It's a fungi. It's a related organisms. They consist of 2 organisms living together. It's an algae and a fungus. The algae is green, and it does photosynthesis to produce food for the duo, for the algae and the fungus. And the fungus actually provides a place to live. It provides the housing for the duo. Now, this is what we call a mutualistic relationship where both benefit each other. So 15 is a relationship where both organisms benefit. Now, in the space at the bottom of this organizer, I want you to use the provided diagram, and I want you to draw and label a mushroom. Thank you.